This video walks you through a recipe for a Russian potato salad. It's a holiday favorite. I think it's pronounced Olivier. And let's get into it. Some key moments regarding the ingredients. The number of potatoes is the volume of potatoes, meaning you can use smaller potatoes, just, more of them. The potatoes I recommend are russet or white potatoes. Do not use yellow potatoes. Eggs can be increased as they just vanish into the salad. The number 8 is not super firm. Now, when it comes to the pickles, make sure you use salty pickles, not vinegar or sweet pickles. The canned Israeli type are perfect in terms of type and volume. Of course, the kosher aspect won't matter if you add pork. However, those pickles they work excellent with this recipe. Now, the recipe I am following does not use meat. However, once you wrap your mind around this recipe, adding meat is super easy. Okay, so step 1 is set 2 pots to boil with a little bit of salt in the water. Then start peeling your potatoes. Once your potatoes are peeled, add the potatoes to the boiling water as a single layer. The hardest thing about this recipe is getting cubed potatoes and not mashed potatoes. Having a single level in each pot will greatly help you not overcook the potatoes. If you put all the potatoes in one big pot, the ones on the bottom tend to get overcooked and the ones on the top are well cooked, which really messes with the whole mashed potato business of the potato side of things. The next step is peeling the carrots and putting them in slightly salty water and getting them boiling. Once the carrots are on the stove and they're boiling, it's a good time to get going on your eggs. Let's get those in the pot and let's get them boiling. Remember what I said, 8 is just an approximation. If you would like, you can always add a little bit more than 8. Alrighty, with most of the ingredients boiling and getting ready, let's not waste time. And now what we want to do is we want to start chopping up our Israeli pickles. They don't have to be Israeli. It's just that's the best type that works really well for this recipe. Now, when it comes to cutting all the ingredients, the smaller and the finer the cubes, the better. So what you want to do is you want to take great care in making sure that when you're cutting the pickles, the potatoes, the eggs, the carrots, you want to cut everything in the smallest possible cubes. That is going to be very important, and that's going to be a big contributor to how well all of these ingredients blend together into a singular salad, and that is going to be really important. Alrighty, at this point now, you got to make sure that you stay on top of the potatoes. You do not want to overcook the potatoes. So keep an eye on them. Keep prodding them with a toothpick. The moment the internals are cooked, I mean the middle of the potato, you're going to want to drain the hot water into the sink and you're going to want to fill the potatoes with cold water. The whole point there is to prevent the hot potato from continuing to cook, right? Because one more time, the mashed potato is a disaster for this recipe. Once you cool down your potatoes in cold water, you're going to want to pull out each potato, give it a good squeeze over the sink to drain any of the water that is kind of in the potato. And then you start chopping it into the smallest cubes that you can. The smaller, the better. As you must have guessed by now, this is a multitasking dish. You got to make sure that your carrots don't get overdone. You probably have turned off the eggs by now because they only take maybe 5 minutes to fully boil. Your pickles have already been cut and they're on the side. All of the potato that you're cutting, put it into your big pot. That is the final destination where the salad is going to be kept. Once that is done, you're then going to chop up the carrots. And add them into that pot. Then you're going to add the pickles. You're going to chop up the eggs. add everything into the pot. Then you're gonna boil your frozen peas, which are the best. You don't want to use canned peas. They're not as fresh. The frozen peas are the best. Unless you have fully fresh peas, that would be even better. Put it all into a single pot, and that is going to be your base salad. From here, you can make it vegetarian, as in without meat, or you can choose to add meat. And now we get into the third hardest part about this dish, where the first one is not overdoing the potatoes. The second hardest thing would be the tedious chopping of all the ingredients. Now, the third hardest thing is not spilling the salad as you're mixing it in the large pot. Once you have mixed it all together, you can set that aside and it'll be good in the fridge for 2, 3, maybe as long as 4 days. Usually doesn't last that long. And when you're ready to serve it, what you do is you ladle from the big pot into your serving dish, load it up with mayonnaise, load it up with salt, and you may choose to give it a splash of lemon juice, and that gives it a really nice flavor. You may want to garnish it on top with some dill. That gives it a nice aesthetic view. And there you go. Hope you enjoy the salad. Wish you all the best, and try to make it. It's delicious. See you around. Hang on. One last Pro Start tip before I sign off. If you want to individually plate the salad, what you can do is you can take the Israeli pickle can, use a can opener to open both sides of the can, press it against the plate on which you will serve the salad, ladle into the can from the top, press it down. That's going to make the salad take the form of the can. Then you pull the can up and voila, a little bit of dill on top. And what I would recommend you put on the side is a slice of orange, not lemon. The orange is going to give it a much nicer look than the lemon, and it's going to be really nice because then you're going to fool the person who is enjoying the salad into thinking that the sugar is very fruity and light. Meanwhile, it's coming from a root vegetable, which is the carrots, the potatoes, and it just really ties everything together from an aesthetic perspective into a beautiful, perfect bundle. Hope you enjoy. All the best. Ciao.